In this video, I'm going to be going over how to export your image stack as an AVI movie, which you can input into your PowerPoints for presentation. So here I have opened an image stack, and I'm first going to delete some of these early images which I do not want. So I just deleted 5 images. So I deleted 50 seconds off of the first set of images, since each of these images in my time lapse is a 10-second interval. So now we're going to have a little clock here at the top left, so when the movie is playing, people will know how far along the time lapse has gone. So for this, we're going to go to Image, we're going to go to Stacks, and we are going to hit Label. And once we get to Label, it's going to be default down here, something like this. So we're going to change the format to a time format that looks suitable. Our starting value is going to be 60 because we deleted the first 50 seconds, the first 5 frames. And our interval is 10 seconds because we have 10 seconds between each of these images. I like to make the font size 36. X and Y location you can change based on where you would like the time counter to appear. And I'm going to put a preview, and you can do this just to see what it's going to look like. I like to use white for my images, but you can use different colors. And if you would like to use different colors, just change your text tool font color and then hit use text tool font. I already set it to white, however, so it's going to be like that. And now we can go through using the arrow keys, and we're going to see that each image is now labeled with the time it's associated with. Okay, that's the first thing. The next thing we want to do is to take a look at the scale bars. So I have some notes right here that says 1 pixel equals 0.3265312 micrometers, and you can find this value based on your magnification and also what microscope you're using and what lenses you're using. So if we go to Analyze, we can hit Set Scale. Distance in pixels, we're going to do 1, and we're just going to put in that same value, which is the known distance, which is 0.3265312, something like that. Yes. And this is going to be, look, 3.06525 pixels per unit. Automatically calculates that for you. And our unit of length is micrometers. Okay, so you see nothing really changed. It just kind of input that information into the ImageJ system. What we're going to do now is we're going to hit Analyze again. We're going to go to Tools, and we are going to hit Scale Bar. Now you see a scale bar appears on the bottom right. You can change the font size again, the height, etc., and the width. I like to keep these at a width of around 10 because that's like a nice round number. And okay. And you will see that it's going to be now labeled on all of these as well. Sometimes you do have to set, I believe you have to go to Tools, Scale Bar, and you need to put it on Label All Slices. Sometimes that doesn't happen if you don't, it doesn't work correctly if you don't do that. So now all the slices are labeled. And now what you can do is hit Save As. So File, Save As, .avi. And it's going to ask you how many frames per second. We tend to do a very slow frames per second so people can really see the time lapse over time. But you can do a faster or slower frame rate if you would like to. The default is 7, which is a decent pace. The lower you go, the slower the movie is going to be. So we can do 2 of these movies. So let's just save these to the desktop. And you can see on the top right, it's taking some time to process it and save it. And we're also going to save one as 1.5 frames per second. So save as AVI 1.5 frames per second. And you'll just see the difference. If we take a look at the first movie, which is already finished, here is at 7 frames per second. And this is just something you can play in your PowerPoint without having to touch it. And this one should be almost done. Maybe it didn't finish. And I'm going to open PowerPoint just to show you how you can put this in your PowerPoint. It looks like this one got corrupted, but our 7 frames per second one will be fine. So if you have a PowerPoint, all you want to do is go to Insert, Video, and then just video on my PC, and I put it in the desktop, and now we have our video. And it is now just embedded into our PowerPoint. Super easy to use. If you're editing, you can still view it like such, as such. And if you're in PowerPoint presentation mode, you just have to click on it. And you can see on the top left we have a working time counter. We have the scale bar labeled on all slices, and we have it running properly. So this is a great way to present your ImageJ time-lapse data in a PowerPoint presentation. Now sometimes you're going to want to crop it too. You can crop it in this PowerPoint, but the best way to do it, let's see, if we go to Format, I believe crop is somewhere here. Crop. So we could crop this image, and if we say we want to focus on a specific cell right in the center, if we wanted to focus on this cell or something, then we could crop it, and we would be left with this. And it'll still play perfectly, but you'll notice that the timestamp and the labels are gone. So we would actually be better off if we were to do this in our ImageJ. So say I want to look at that same cell here, we can do image, crop. First we had to do a selection, sorry. So let's say we want to focus here, or how about here? And we're going to hit image and crop, or Control-Shift-X. And now you're going to see that we have this new cropped image. But again, the timestamp and such are gone. So all we had to do is just repeat the steps that we did before. So we're going to go to Image, Stacks, Label, and it's going to be the same thing, although the font size might be a little too large, so let's lower it to 20 this time. And here we go. It has a timestamp, and we can adjust the Y value so it's a little bit closer to the top left as well. And then we're going to go to Analyze, Tools, Scale Bar, and we can make it a little bit smaller as well. So how about 12 font size, and height in pixels 4. That looks fine. Alright, and so now you see we have the timestamps again, and we can simply just export this, so save as .avi. Let's do 7 frames per second again. And I'm just going to save that as Knockout 2 cropped. And you can see it's much faster now because it doesn't have to process as much data. We can go to our PowerPoint presentation, Insert, Video on my PC, KO2 cropped, and now you see we have the finished product, which is still going to work perfectly with the timestamp and the scale bar in your PowerPoint presentation. I hope you found this video useful, and thank you for watching.